thousands of dollars, like hurt myself in boxing in the morning and like sick. And I'm just like, fuck, nothing's going right. I'm always like someone somewhere has it so much worse.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, lots of people, lots
you know,
of places.
so like I
have it. Yeah.
That's what,
continents have it worse.
Tim
has it
that's what I'm saying.
I'm right here.
So
entire hemispheres have it worse. I love how you're like, someone like he wakes up wherever he is in Beverly Hills. He's like, there's got to be someone out there who's having a bad day today, like I'm having a bad day.
It was over when I was in a diner. In the same diner, I said to the waiter, I said, hey, my order at the diner is always mozzarella sticks. Also, I'd like a grilled cheese with turkey because I'm turning over a new leaf.
And then I asked the waitress, where's the closest Carvel?
Yeah. Grilled cheese with turkey and tomato. I'm turning over a new leaf. I didn't say bacon. I said turkey. Now, let me ask you a question. If bacon goes in a sandwich with the turkey, coleslaw, French fries, lightly cooked. But don't burn them. Don't give me the excuse that people aren't paying attention in there. So, so I said to the waiter, he goes, what do you guys do? I said, I do mortgages. He goes, what a coincidence. I do mortgages. And then the guy that was handing me my mozzarella sticks took out a card from his top pocket and put it on the diner table. I don't know what bird that is in the back, but I'm going to go out and I'm going to fuck it to death after this. Birds never get raped.
Every night, this bird.
Birds are never raped. It was not, my parents, they didn't know we were doing this. They thought we were like walking around. My parents are boomers. And with all due respect, no generation has cared less about their children than boom. Raising us wasn't part of the thing. For most of the boomer generation, they just didn't, they would go, here's some Wendy's, now go get molested. They didn't really, that's just what it was. They didn't really concern themselves.
I don't know.
He's Swedish. He wrote "I Want It That Way" and all those songs.
Okay.
And he said that this is a time probably that you won't see any genius because the turnaround is so quick
that nobody's getting.
And
I beg to differ.
Oh, Anders Carlson, that's him. And
I beg to differ. I think Post Malone is a straight up genius.
Okay,
that's people around him.
I don't think he's a genius, but I think he's good.
A genius. He is very talented.
Musically, they say, especially people in the business, like how fast as he can write a song, and how talented he is on the keyboard.
Sure, he might be really good and facile, but I don't know that I don't know if those songs are gonna last.
This is what all old people say. You know what I'm saying? They're
Have
like,
you seen the new video?
Like Ed Sheeran's a fucking monster.
No, he is.
That's literally, he's a monster. He's a literal monster.
He looks like he lives under a bridge.
This is what I love about and you'll understand this because you've been in the business for a long time. Like Ed Sheeran's a guy that fucks everybody up who just goes, well, yeah, man, you just got to be hot. You just got to be hot and you'll succeed.
Yeah.
And then you see that bridge troll selling out arenas. And you're like, oh, nothing means anything. Everything's chaos. I don't even know what.
Well, he's good. He's legitimately
He's good, but it's like it would make you feel better if you look like Shawn Mendes, so you could go, well, of course.
Yeah.
But then you look at this guy, you're like, oh, I guess anyone can succeed. Literally anyone. I mean, he looks like a Make-A-Wish kid who didn't die and just grew out the hair.
And his eyes are crazy.
Oh, he's crazy.
Most successful tour of all time.
Better than U2 by 40 million.
Beat U2, yeah, by 40 million.
I just take your facts, I put them right back. I'm so good at that.
You're good.
That's impressive.
Take Carnival, it's very bad. We've taken it twice. It was horror both times.
Norwegian's
good. Yeah, they're cruise people. I mean, just the lowest caliber of human being to have ever drawn a breath.
What is this restaurant? 8 appetizers, 10 entrees. I have those numbers are kind of maybe 1 or 2 either way. Seasonal New American steaky seafood, killer steak on the menu, killer seafood, really good. Inspired by my life.
Little tiramisu or no?
Nah, we don't have we're not gonna have donkey food.
Now at the beginning, are you gonna have the waiter come by?
Here in Arizona, which is the worst state in the union by far. There is no comparison. There is nothing worse than Arizona. Arizona is it is an absolute, I mean, it has no redeeming qualities. It is a hot, arid desert landscape with some of the trashiest, least intelligent human beings to have ever, graced the fucking, planet here. It is bad. There are some hot people. There's some probably big OnlyFans accounts. There's some aspiring porn stars. There's a few guys that's probably fun to get into a Ponzi scheme with in Scottsdale. There's a few people that own houseboats on Lake Havasu that is probably fun. It's a great place to be when you're 23 and you're trying to fuck or whatever. I don't know. But, I mean, get me out of here.
Get me out of here. I've had fun. The shows are fun. The crowds are fun. But the crowds they also feel like it's like, you know, you gotta, if you lose them for a minute, you know, God only knows what happens here. God only knows what. People are just screaming. People are yelling and screaming. It is truly an embarrassment, the state of Arizona. There's just no other way to put it. You know, the owner of the club was like, I'm staying in this place, Peoria. The owner of the club's like, oh, you're staying in Peoria. What are you doing? And I'm like, buddy, the whole fucking state should be firebombed. What are you, out of your fucking mind? You think you have an estate in the Pacific Palisades? You're on the surface of Mars here, and everybody's a retard. So what does it fucking matter where I am? The whole place is shit. It's irredeemable. One of your best restaurants in Phoenix has fried bread. It's called the Fry Bread House. And they take refried beans and put it on fry bread. It's disgusting. I've really had it with the West. I really have. The country's shot. I drove from Utah to fucking Arizona. I'm sick of the red clay canyons. And here's the general store. I'm sick of that hokey horse shit, frontier town crap. It's enough already. Grow the fuck up. I'm sick of it. Give it back to the Indians. Give it back to them, the Native Americans. My apologies. But the country's shot. It's disgusting. The Grand Canyon. We passed that. Looks the same as it did when I was a kid. It's disgusting. Do something else. It's just enough already with these. And of course, I'm with this 24-year-old who's opening for me, who I love, but he's an idiot. So, I mean, he's like, oh, isn't it beautiful? Isn't it beautiful? Isn't it nice? You stop. It's not nice, and it's not beautiful. Civilization is beautiful. People working is beautiful. Not rock formations. Get out of the national parks, please. You know what's beautiful? Families, progress. That's beautiful. Not a red clay rock formation that looks like somewhere aliens land and face fuck you.
With somebody that's fun to be around.
Yeah.
A little more intellect. A little more cerebral. A little spelling and grammar come together, and ideas flow.
I appreciate that.
Tim Dillon, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for having me. And R.I.P. Bert to Corona.
Yep.
That was
tough.
It was not unexpected. But
I will get your graphic up real soon.
Yes,
I promise.
it was very swift justice.
It was,
that the COVID really
you can't just
delivered.
abuse booze and your body like that for decades and expect no repercussions.
Yeah, COVID got in and it didn't leave. So we're sad. But, listen, he leaves a beautiful legacy.
Award is for you today, by the way.
I love it. USA. And it is where we live.
It's where we live.
Good.
And when I think of USA, a lot of times, a few moments later, I think of Tim Dillon.
Well, as you should.
Yeah.
As you should. I got a polo on.
And it's red and blue.
Well, Ralph Lauren is the only reputable clothing company that makes clothes for bigger gentlemen.
Yep.
This is really what it is.
Please.
And it's American royalty, and that's what I try to exude.
It's really kind of, did you accept it? Like, I'll even sometimes I'll go flog myself by going to a mall and seeing clothes that looks attractive, that I like, to go in there just to be like, so do you have anything bigger? And they're like, no, we don't have anything bigger than this. Or they'll say, this might fit you, and I'll put it on and look in the mirror, and I'll be like, Jesus Christ, this is embarrassing.
I can squeeze into jeans. Like I can squeeze into Lucky jeans or something, especially the ones that are a little bit more forgiving.
Yeah.
But the shirt game and the shoulder game, all of these designer clothes are made for European, French, small,
soft men.
Cowards.
Yeah.
And those people are dressed, and as when I go to Boa Steakhouse in West Hollywood and I see all these the young model bullshit, they all have the cut is just very slender, very slim.
Hugo Boss doesn't make shit for us, dude.
No.
Nothing.
So, but I'm happy with Ralph.
Yeah, Ralph does a good job.
I throw down with Ralph.
Yeah,
I wish he'd throw me a couple of bucks because I've been doing, but I don't know that I'm what Ralph wants out there. That's the other problem. Is
you don't think so?
I don't know if my picture is up in a room at Ralph Lauren and they're going, we want a guy in a DXL store in Palm Desert trying on shirts and asking how much they'll shrink. That's not what we want. But guess what, Ralph Lauren? That's what you've got.
You got it.
That's what you've got, truly. Way into the lower middle class. She just fuck her way into a little Levitt house in Long Island. Good woman.
Oh my God, bro. You got to play Santa more often, dude. I would love to watch the small black kids attack you.
They just roasted me. They were brutal. And here's the other thing. I wasn't just Santa. I was selling Obamacare. Because the thing was that it was a healthcare truck.
Oh, Santa's got a fucking gimmick.
And you would have to like get them with they'd be like, oh, there's Santa. And then you get the kids in, then you grab their parents and be like.
That's called a bait and switch.
It's a bait and switch big time. Then you grab their parents and be like, listen, you're going to have a high deductible, but it doesn't matter. Just declare bankruptcy. You don't have to give them a fake name anymore. And you'd have to explain to the kids, like this is a present that you're not going to realize the importance of now.
Yeah.
So it was a dark time. I had fun with it though. You had fun with it. I was younger. I was doing comedy.
My life's shitty. Your life's been a real piece of shit.
It's been something.
Okay.
I never slept in a ball pit, but I'm not against it. Like I'm not opposed to sleeping in a ball pit.
But still.
That job, because I was like, I got to get out of the sales world, which I'd been in since I was 22. 21, really. I had been in sales. And then I left it when I was like 28. I just on and off, just mortgages and then copiers. I've always been in sales. And then the only job, I saw guys like on a tour bus and they were just yelling at tourists on a bus that was going through Times Square. And I was like, well, that guy can't have a boss. There can't be any background check to do that job. These tour guides in New York, they were lunatics, these people, One woman, I swear to God, would just go on and talk about a knee operation. And the people in there were trying to learn about the Empire State Building. She would hear it. She'd go, I've had 9 operations on the same foot. But people would tip her at the end. It was like, she was an animal, but people felt bad for her. So they fill the tip cup up at the end. So I was like, oh, these people are also in their own way con artists, degenerates, marginalized figures from society. Some of them thought they were historians. Some of them, they were all full of shit. These guys, they barely knew anything. I was just like, I'll go up there and my whole goal was like, I'll make everybody laugh. So I would, pass a building and be like, what the fuck's going on in there? I'm like, I was like,
What were you making doing that?
$15 an hour. 15 an hour, but checks, so that's bad. 40-hour work weeks, I never left with a check over $350. Okay? But cash tips every day of either no money when I was lazy and didn't want to give the tour, and a Russian woman punched me in the stomach once. Because we were sitting on the thing. It was first of all the Russians are poor. They come in January, February. They have no fucking money. They're poor. They come the coldest time of the year. And then you'd have to do a tour for one Russian couple. And the thing with Russians is they have beautiful blue eyes like huskies, but they have no souls. So when you see, because they have 100 years of atheism, so they have no soul. So there's not, so when you look in their face, you see there's nothing there. So I just sat on the bus, and this Russian woman said to me, she goes, you give tour, you fat fuck. I said, listen to the automated tour. I said, I'm not doing it today. You're the only people on the bus. She goes, I pay money. You give tour. You give tour. And I said, no. Because I could put it on the automated when I was being lazy. And the automated would be like, and the automated was supposed to be hooked up with a GPS, but it was never where it should be. So we'd be by Central Park, and they'd be like, you are seeing the 9/11 memorial. And everybody would look out, like, where's 9/11? They had no idea because the GPS. These companies don't care because these buses, there's no repeat business.
Right.
You just, you bang them. Bill Burr has a great thing where he talks about the guys who sell tickets to these buses. They're all Africans and Haitians, and they all have deep machete scars in their faces. They make $8 or $9 grand a month, and they send that all back to Africa. I think Burr, I haven't heard of it, but Burr, somebody told me that Burr either talks about it on a podcast or does a bit about it, but they're aggressive salesmen. They'll fight each other in the street, and then once the tickets are sold, it's over. You're not going to complain about this. What, are you going to go find the office and complain?
I mean...
Good afternoon. This is Sonic Dripping Springs. How may I help you?
Yeah, are you guys hiring right now?
We actually are, sir. How you doing?
Good. What would this starting salary be there?
The starting salary, sir, we pay by the hour, but depending on the position that you want, and then we can see about salary.
What would it be for an hour of work? Would you say?
Yes, sir. How much would be for an hour work? Depends what you do, sir. If you're a cook, it's what? 11 for a cook. It'll be 11 for a cook.
Okay, 11 for a cook. What about like a cashier?
What is a cashier? Car ups are $5 an hour because they get tips.
Oh, do you get a lot of tips?
They got a good amount of tips, but it's just they got a good amount of tips.
So it's under minimum wage. It's $5 an hour, and then you get tips.
Yes, sir.
Is it a fun place to work? Like, can I take some food home for myself?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so I could eat every day at Sonic if I wanted to.
Yeah, you just gotta. Yeah, pretty much you could have.
Yeah,
You
so-
drink any drink you want.
Any drink I want. Okay, so it's $5 an hour, but I could drink all the soda I want.
Yeah.
Okay, and eat any food. Can I make myself an ice cream every now and then?
Yeah, of course. Yes, sir.
It's not a bad deal. $5 an hour, tips. Do they really give you? So they'll give you tips, and I can eat all the soda and burgers I want, and make myself an ice cream.
I mean, you can make yourself an ice cream, and then maybe one day you'll be able to make yourself an ice cream, and then another day you'll be able to eat some food, and then another day.
I get it. So you don't want to abuse it, but every now and then you could get something different.
Yes, sir.
Right. So you have one day's ice cream, and then the next day you can sneak a burger.
Yeah.
And maybe I could sneak some French fries on the third day.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it, man. I'll head down there and I'll apply.
Yes, sir. But cooks do get paid $11 an hour, and we are in need of cooks.
So you're in need of cooks, and do I have to be good at cooking?
No, sir, not at all.
Not really.
No,
I don't really. You learn.
You don't need any experience for this. You just gotta be having the willingness to learn.
And how much food can the cooks take? I would probably a good amount.
What was that, sir?
Like the cooks can take a good amount of food, right?
Yeah, we cook about on the weekends like from $1,000 to $2,000 worth of food and product. We're doing lunch, and that's on the
Right, because
weekends.
I have a family, and it's very hard to get them food. So if I wanted to, I could maybe take 2 little burgers for my children.
Yeah, so that'll be fine.
Okay, yeah, because they're babies, but they do like burgers. We're getting them.
Yeah.
We're getting them started early.
Yeah, of course, sir.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time, brother. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. You have a good day.
Thank you. What's the problem? I mean, what is the fucking problem here? You're allowed to eat and drink all the soda you want and eat all the Sonic you want. But you got to do it in a smart way. So like one day you make yourself the ice cream, the next day you get, and it's $5 an hour. What's wrong with that? It's $5 an hour to work at. Now do the math on that. $5 times 40, it's $800 a week, right?
5 times 40.
It's $800 a week.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Or
it's $200 a week. I'm an idiot.
So then $800 a month.
It's $800 a month is what I mean.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
$800 a month. So what's the And now, what is that? It's under 12 grand a year. It's 11 grand a year.
Yes, so that
But
would be...
then you get the tips. But the folks, you get the tips.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you know me. When I go to Sonic, I didn't even know you could tip or were supposed to. We've gone to Sonic. There's literally nothing that would suggest that I tip at Sonic. No. Not a sign. I don't, but I imagine that because you're making $9,600 a year, but free, you could drink anything you want. Any soda you want. One day you get an ice cream. Next day you get French fries. Not a bad deal. If you were like me in my hypothetical and I had 2 little babies that wanted burgers, if I was a chef, I could bring the little burger home to the babies. Again, it's not a big deal. So you make $9,600 for the year. Now this is fair. You make $9,600 for the year, but tips. Now what do you think they make in tips there? $20,000? $25,000 at Sonic tips? What do you think they make in tips a day?
Honestly, $25. Probably.
A day?
Yeah, probably a day.
So then how many days would you imagine they work?
Probably 4.
4 to 5 days. So let's say 5 times 25 is what?
5 times 25 would be 125.
Okay. And so 125, and then how many weeks? Let's say they work 45. Let's say they work 50